Do you see that? I recently ran into a bush that was full of thorns because I didn't pay attention. So if you know the symbolism for that, hit me up. Anyways, so I recently more and more am actually perceiving the adding to my experience instead of the seeming taken away from that which I have. And that is a quite interesting thing because most of my life things have primarily been seemingly taken away, which of course is just a rearranging in order to match my degree of development. But still, it was that way. And now, since a few weeks ago, since I have released all things permanently of the past, since I've burned the or destroyed the base of illusion on which the mansion of illusion has been built, which was my past, now things seem to be adding into my experience more and more. So the money is getting greater, the opportunities are getting bigger and more, the talents are being developed easier and stronger. Things simply work out, right? I meet lovely people, I have beautiful interactions, and I'm very happy, unconditionally happy and at peace. The spark of life has been reignited, and more things in general are being added unto me, and that is really cool instead of being taken away. The thing is, I've come to such a point in my life where I simply couldn't have been falling deeper into a pit. And in that moment, having nothing and no one, I kind of reawakened myself to the truth of my being that I have lost for many years. And since then, kind of everything that happens seems like a receiving of more to what was. And this is cool because, as you know, how you choose to perceive every single moment is what will essentially create more experiences that are alike. Of course, I knew that beforehand, and that is why I am where I am, right? It is an incremental process. Even when you have nothing, even when there is no outside proof or seemingly outside proof for your knowing, you still need to remain in that state of being, of abundance, of having things, instead of perceiving only the taken away or not having things. Otherwise, you would manifest the not having things or more of taken away experiences where you are being taken away things. So, this is what I mean by perspective is one of the greatest gifts, or the ability to create perspectives or have perspectives is one of the greatest gifts that we have been given from ourselves, in essence. Because even when you do not have anything, you can still perceive everything that you do not have as an abundance of not having things. Or you can still perceive the getting or the when things are being removed from your life, you can perceive them as rearranging of your current circumstances so that you get to a certain point that is higher up, for example. And this resonates with abundance and growth and life, essentially. So you create more growth, life, abundance. So this is what I essentially did, right? Regardless of what happened, I still remained in the state of abundance, in the state of oneness, and perceived all things from a place of pure presence, unconditional love. I trusted, allowed, and embraced all things. Thereby, I transcended all seemingly negative things into positive ones. And this is actually what helped me burn the bridges to the past, to the mansion of illusion. That is my past, if you will. Yeah, and that is really cool. I think I've said everything. Maybe I will create another video that is kind of similar to that one in case I have forgotten to say anything. But until then, I wish you a wonderful day. Have a good one. Here I am again. So I rewatched the video and I have to add something onto it. So I said everything that now happens is like a adding onto that, or adding more onto that which was. And essentially, what is so beautiful about that, the significance is that it is now actually manifesting into the physical, or the seeming physical, that which I have held onto, the abundance I have held onto. And this is absolutely beautiful. And also wanted to add that regardless of what I share with you guys, it is never from a place of ego, of pushing myself up as if I would be something better than you, right? Remember, we are all one, we are all equals. We are all simply on a different step of our journey of remembrance. So where you are now is important for you. Where I am now is important for me. And yet our purpose is to be love, is to share ourselves, is to commune with ourselves, right? And when you have the ears to hear, the eyes to see, which means when you are simply willing to learn, to grow, to remember yourself, then you will be able to read between the lines and take whatever golden nuggets I provide for you, for yourself. So, and the same I do, of course, for me. Many times I come into contact with people that are also on the same journey, that are on the same level, and that have very unique perspectives that I've never thought about before. And also, one more thing in regards to that, it is so cool to now be in a timeline, or be tuned into an experience as the infinite awareness that I am, where there are people that are equally as awakened, that remember themselves as much as myself, because they share certain things that are so interesting to perceive or to take in. Again, perspectives that I've never thought about before. I was, until a short amount of time, a very big fish in a very small pond, right? But now I am a big fish in an infinitely large pond full of other big fishes. And it is a beautiful addition to my experience to have equals, so to speak, people that are actually consciously manifesting and living the same level of remembrance that I am. It is a beautiful dance of remembering ourselves by the help of a seeming other. So yeah, I think now I have shared everything. If you are wanting me to, or rather, forget it, never mind, I will do it anyways. What I wanted to share now is what I decided now to do actually is sharing a technique where you can actually train your conscious awareness of your capability to manifest things into being, and basically train your connection to all that is. Basically strengthen your belief that all is one, that you are the one creator of all things. There is a beautiful technique that I used in the very beginning that is quite fun and also shows you how powerful you actually are. And with that, I will do that in another video, I guess, or most likely. Not necessarily the next video, but soon. If you are in a hurry, you can text me, of course, or simply write a comment. Maybe I will simply write a comment, I don't know. You have the scepter in your hand, you can decide, just tell me. In that sense, once again, have a wonderful day. It was once again a beautiful pleasure to share myself with myself. Bye. All right, one more thing. As you remember in the beginning of the video, I said that this here came from a bush of thorns that I walked into, and instead of being a crybaby about it, instead of complaining, I asked myself, what is the symbolism of that? And I also asked you, what is the symbolism of that? Which is essentially a projection of the state of oneness, of growth, wonder, awe, innocence, right? The beauty, perfection of all things. And this is pretty cool. The significance of that, why I am sharing this with you, is not only to give you an opportunity to see things anew, to see that not everything that happens that involves pain and blood is or must necessarily be of a bad nature. Because bad does not exist, first of all. But second of all, because everything is one. Everything serves a purpose, and that purpose is your remembrance, essentially. And the more you remember yourself, the more conscious you become, the more you actually see the connection of all things and the tailoring of those experiences to your remembrance, to your growth, to your conscious realization and knowing that you are one, you are one with all that is, that you are all that is, right? So that is really cool. The second reason is that this is one more representation or proof, if you will, or manifestation of the state of oneness that I am in, which is being manifested through this body-mind unconsciously. Because I'm not consciously thinking about or deciding to act from a state of oneness. It just happens. Usually, because we're all projecting essentially ourselves to all aspects of ourselves. That is how experience or creating with others work, essentially. Or the communion works between aspects of all that is. But I also wanted to add something else. Even though it is happening on an unconscious level, the projection of oneself, we still have the choice to consciously choose how we react and how we perceive the things and what we actually project onto the others. But I am in a state where it has been ingrained so strongly into my consciousness that it is second nature, that the oneness is now a permanent state of being for me. And even though I knew that, it is still pretty cool to receive confirmations for that. It's never getting boring, the manifestation of the state of oneness in which I'm abiding. My experiences are full of wonders, full of realizations, full of proofs that I am one with all things. And the more I actually perceive those things, and especially the more I speak about it and share this message with aspects of myself, it seems the more I am actually getting into that state in an even deeper level. I remember myself to an even greater level, and that is really cool. It is really cool. So again, breathe and be. Trust all things, allow all things, embrace all things. Be pure presence when you are experiencing anything that is in front of you. Also this content that I'm sharing with you. This will enable your consciousness to be wide open, to be in a state of oneness, and to therefore recognize the resonance of the essentially energy of oneness that I'm sharing with you. This enables you to read between the lines, to see what is meant only for you, to hear what is meant only for you. This will ignite a spark within you that will lead to a great flame of remembrance that will burn away all the illusions within your mind that is of separation, or the illusion of separation, or of dissonance. So, but again, you need not do anything other than being, because you cannot do anything but being. So decide for yourself, right? All these things are just suggestions, things that work for me, that I've realized are a pretty good way to remember oneself and live a life of more unconditional, underline, peace and love. In that sense, I wish you a wonderful day. That was the last video. I don't think that I will record any more because it feels complete. So, bye!